Well, good afternoon. It is, let me see, Tuesday the 18th of February. It's 12:47 in the afternoon. It's a bit of a quiet day today. It's very cold outside and there has been yellow weather warnings for snow and ice. So a lot of people probably won't be travelling today. We have had a couple of customers in so far. I think we've had a kid in for a kit, and we've also had an adult who was in looking for a helmet who's going to let us know if he's going to go ahead with the order or not. So Pamela's frantically underneath the desk trying to see if she can get something sorted. I see your printer's moved again.
It has to, because I'll need to try and hook it up to the till.
So Pamela is under the desk under the desk instead of talking to the camera, but apparently she's too busy to turn around and face the camera to say hi.
Hi.
So yeah, she's in the process of trying to see if she can get the printer moved. The reason being is the printer that we have for the EPOS Now system has been broken. In the diplomatic sense, it is, well, yeah, Pamela just said that she's at bed, but we'll need to bleep that out. She's in the process of trying to see if she can get her big printer hooked up to the till so we can print out receipts through that way at the moment, as we're still waiting on another printer coming. Yeah, so that's one of the things that Pamela's doing today. What else have you got on your plate today?
Warrior order.
So you got a warrior order for the people that can't read the back of your head.
Warrior order. CTM's leaving today. There was just a couple of queries which has been sorted and it's going to be leaving today. And I've got, what else have I got to do? Bully danglers to find, now a cat eye to sort out for Matthew for his wall helmet, but as we know, wall's not very available in the UK, so I'll need to do some research to see what other cat eyes will fit rather than the wall cat eye. And there's another couple of inquiries. I really need to email the receipts from the orders I took over the weekend, because I didn't get a chance to do that and I wasn't very well Sunday, Monday. So I've got a wee bit of catching up to email out the receipts, because obviously the printer wasn't working and I had promised I would email receipts, so I'm going to do that today and then go home, collapse in the heap.
So Pam's obviously not been feeling the greatest. There's quite a nasty bug that's been going around the last couple of days. Pam's had it, the kids have had it, and I'm pretty sure half of our customers have had it and probably gave it to Pam. So yeah, she obviously doesn't have the greatest of immune systems at the moment, so anytime there is a cold, cough or flu, she is absolutely floored. So she's been a trooper today and she's came into the shop and she's obviously working away just now trying to see if she can get through the day. So yeah, that's the plan for Pam. My plan is sit here and twiddle my thumbs until somebody brings in some stuff for me to do. I'll probably end up doing some other stuff on my phone because this relic here is still not working properly, and I think it's time. I think it's just got too old. It's time to get put out to the scrapyard in the sky. But my laptop for editing and stuff like that is at home, so my MacBook really doesn't. I don't really like taking it with me places because obviously I've got a good setup at home as it is. I don't like obviously having to take it places. It is a laptop, it is meant to be portable, but I just prefer not having it being portable at the moment because everything's where I need it to be at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to obviously look at maybe try to see if I can get another one at some point, or some different style of computer or another laptop for the store, so I can actually work in here with it. When it gets to the summer, you'll probably find I'll have it here with me on a regular basis. It's just obviously at the moment it's got quite a lot of external stuff plugged into it, and I don't really like taking it out because I'm lazy that way. That's just the honest opinion. It's just I'm lazy. I don't like taking things out, and yeah, I'm going to try and see if I can start up this one. I might have to get the hamster and see if the hamster's needing mouth to mouth to be able to get it to work. But we'll see if we can get some stuff done today. So this is how eventful it is so far. I'm upgrading this computer just so I can get it to work properly. A couple of wee cheeky command codes to try and get everything up to date. And obviously Pamela is working away on the orders. She's obviously had to change the way that her desk is set up now because obviously she's broke the printer. And yes, she broke the printer, but then she asked me to take a grinder to the inside of it because there's a small part that wasn't closing properly and now it doesn't work anymore. So yeah, my fault apparently. What else is happening?
I'm boiling the kettle so can I get coffee?
Is it because you're absolutely
Gubbed.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, so
I like to be upbeat and exciting, but I've not got it in my tank to be.
So it is now 1 minute past 5. It's been an extremely quiet day today. We get days like this every now and then. The season, in my opinion, is coming to an end in the next couple of weeks. So obviously that's one of the things that tends to happen. We start to wind down. So again, if we're looking for any custom work done out there at all, you know where we are. So, how are you feeling? Positivity?
Wonderfully.
Yeah, that was a good one. Right, anyway, so for today, that's us finished. We are going to go and get the kids. I'm going to go to the gym, and then I've got training tonight, obviously on ice. So that's us for tonight. We'll catch you tomorrow. Wednesday, the 19th of February. It is 6 o'clock. It's been a busy wee shop today. So far, I have a couple of repairs that I've got to do. I have a gusset that needs to be fixed and a pair of gloves. I've got an eyelet that needs to be fixed. And I've got multiple sharpening still got to get done. I've got 2 sitting there, and I've probably got a few out the front. And we've got a review on the True Hazardous 9X still to come, so stick with us. Right, so all my repairs are done so far. I need to try and catch up on the sharpness now. I've got 2 pairs here, and I have a customer who actually sent me a lot of steels. Now this was via post. I've got to sharpen 3 sets of steels and make sure that they're all ready to go, and then get them posted back to him. So that's what I'm going to be doing next, after I get these sharpens out the road.
I melt in your hands, soaked in sweat when we dance. I fall to my knees, baby. Wanna get you alone now, not ready to ignite. I want us to go home now, now turn up every light, baby. Burn me to ashes, then I rise, then I rise. You set my body, all on my body. You set my body, all on my body on fire. You set my body, all on my body. You set my body, all on my body on fire. You set my body, all on my body. You set my body, all on my body. You set my body, all on my body. You set my body, all on my body on fire. You set my body, all on my body. You set my body, all on my body on fire.
So I had obviously said earlier on there was a pair of skates, or sorry, 3 pairs of steels that were sent to us. Who sent us them?
Ed Hutchison from Dunbar.
Dunbar, right, okay. So that was
assuming that's East Coast, because my geography's crap.
right. So obviously he sent them across, and
Yep.
they're now that's sharpened and ready to get sent back to him. So
And here he's got 2 rows of white tape, 2 rows of laces, 2 rolls of laces, 2 sets
that's
of
good.
2 sets of laces, and he's can I just show you our little note from the postman? These were sent on the 11th of February. They attempted delivery on, I don't even think it was the 12th. I think it was a few days later. And then the postman came in a few days later and said, "Did you get your parcel?" And we had absolutely no clue we had had a parcel. There was no card under the door, there was nothing, so we didn't know. And the postman says, "Right, leave it with me. I will go and see if I can get them to redeliver it," which they didn't do. And then he came back in yesterday, Tuesday, and said, "Did you get your parcel?" And I says, "No, I didn't, blah, blah, blah." And he says, "Right, leave it with me." And he went all the way back to the depot after his run and he booked it to go to Silk Street Post Office. And we shout out to Pedro the Postie, because without Pedro the Postie, we would never have known how to have got our parcel because we didn't have any tracking details. And it finally turned up today. So from the 11th of February until today, we've been hunting these down. But thank you very much to Pedro for getting us our, I don't even know if that's his name, but let's call him Pedro the Postie. So they turned up this evening. I went and got them before we opened up, and you sharpened them, and I'm going to get them booked on tonight, and if I can drop them, it depends on the kids and everything tomorrow, I'll get them dropped back to the post office. If not, it'll be Friday morning I'll drop them in. I've got another parcel going south that's got to be dropped. Well, I'm waiting on the CCM delivery coming tomorrow, so there's 2 things to come out of there, to be put back in a box and then dropped at the post office as well. So I might just kill 2 birds with 1 stone and do it all on Friday morning.
So next question I'm going to have for you: how often is it we usually get steel sent to us to be able to do it? It's not very often now.
It's not very often, but it's still more often than you would think. Because Stuart was in and he was asking, does this happen often? And if you think about it, over the years we've had quite a few. So obviously we had Valentine that used to post them up from London. So he was obviously up here, got too used to your Sharpmans. And then when he moved to London, I don't even think he's in London anymore.
I don't think he's here anymore. I think
he's away. You know, he would post them up from London when he was in London, and he would sharpen them, and then he would rotate all of his steels. We had the goalie from up north.
Yep, Inverness.
Inverness, not seen them down in a wee while. I think they come down sporadically.
Yeah, they come down sporadically. I think that's because Jamie's now sharpening up there.
Yeah, so they come down sporadically when he's needing a cross grind and a clean. We've had.
But the main question is
mail delivery if need be.
Yeah, so we do that as an option. We do that as an option.
Especially now you've got steels that can get popped out, so you don't have. They used to have to send us the skates, which we've had as well over the years. Can you repair? So they'll send us the skates and we'll repair. We'll give them an MOT, they'll get eyelets, they'll get rivets, they'll get new laces, they'll get sharpened, rockers, you know, whatever's needing done, and then they get boxed up and sent back. So we can do that as well, it's not a problem. Especially if you're struggling to get into the store. But most of it now is they'll pop steels out and just send the steels.
Cool. Right, I'm going to go on with some other stuff.
Yeah, I've got loads of stuff to do.
So it's 7:21 now on obviously Wednesday evening. It is pretty quiet now. All of the jobs have been done. Everything that had to be done has been done. All the repairs, all the extra wee bits and pieces, and some orders. Obviously Pam was in the process of doing the orders and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do now is get myself a wee seat, and I'm going to talk you through my first experience of the True Hazardous X9s. Right, I'll try this again. This is take 2. The reason being is Pamela came out the toilet, made hundreds of noise, and then left the door open. So, right, so the whole aspect of the Hazardous, the 9X, not the X9s like I previously said in the last wee segment there, I have found so far that they're a very, very odd skate. And what I mean by they're a very odd skate is, now considering the fact that when I got these skates originally, when I tried them on, they didn't fit. They were half a size too small. So I just decided I had had enough of my M5 Pros. They were just, I was finding like I lost all support in them. They had went soft after maybe about 3 months, and I kept skating in them because I had nothing else to skate in, and I couldn't locate a skate from anywhere else. And then when these popped up on clearance, I thought, yeah, I'm going to get a pair of them just to see how they were. So anyway, my first impression of them after the heat mould. So first impression was they were too small. Once I heat moulded them, they had moved dramatically. So with that said that they've moved dramatically, I actually had a chance to skate on them last night for the first time, and they were very, very stiff. Now considering the fact that I've been a TF9 skater before in the past, obviously with the excess holders on them, I find these are just as stiff. Although they say that they're not as stiff, they are just as stiff. I find that they are maybe a little bit easier to break in. Now, considering the fact that the first 5 minutes, Scott testified to this one, that I was quite all over the place. The reason being is I used the steels from my M5 Pros in them, which were a little bit more shaped towards the front. So I was very, very on my toes, and it took a little bit of getting used to for maybe a shift or two at the scrummage to be able to kind of get used to them and get into my flow. However, when I did actually start to try and get into my proper stride, I definitely felt like there was so much more support in the quarter package area up around the ankles, especially in comparison to the M5 Pro. Now, yes, I understand I did say that the M5 Pro had went soft, but what I'm meaning is, even in general, these are just night and day stiffer. They've just got so much more support, so much more wraparound. They just feel very, very nice. They feel a lot more supportive than what I've been in previously. Probably very, very similar to the TF9 Trues that I was in. Now, what I did notice though, again, even though after I heat moulded them, my toes came off the front of them, they were originally like this, now they're just brushing the front of the toe cap. When I tightened them up, I felt like it was exactly the same as what I had with the original True TF9s. I couldn't get them tight enough to start with. Then eventually when I got them tight enough and I got into them and I started skating properly with them, I felt as if it wasn't that they were too restrictive in any way, shape or form. Being a big guy with a kind of long, powerful stride, I do find that they do fit my game and they do suit my feet, but so much more support in general in this area here, like I say. One of the downfalls I would probably say is I seem to have a little bit of rubbing. The tongues I find are just so strange. I would prefer just a standard felt tongue. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research to see if I can actually get a standard felt tongue for these. I know originally in the TF9s I had used a Cat 7 tongue in them. I might have to look at doing that again, just for the simple reason of I prefer a felt tongue over these kind of artificial kind of leather ones. There was a couple of little areas, like I don't know if you'll be able to see here, but this little bit here where the stitching sits, that there seemed to rub on my foot or rub on my ankle. So because that rubbed on my ankle, I had a little pressure point and I had a little cut that the skate caused, which is obviously unfortunate, especially considering the fact that it's the first time I've skated in them and they've cut my ankle. Now, this wasn't just in the one skate, this was in both skates. So again, there is going to be a slight break-in period on that, but overall, after the first 5 minutes, I felt as if I'd been skating in these for years. They were very, very comfortable, they were very supportive, like I keep saying, they were very, very supportive. Obviously it's meant to be the stiffer range from the True range, shall you say. The Hazardous is meant to be a stiff skate. I found that, like I say, if I puck hit them at all in any way, shape or form, I never really felt much. The tongue, I was very worried about the tongue. I didn't think it was going to be supportive enough, but it actually is very, very supportive, and it's quite springy as well. Obviously there's quite a bit of recoil in that tongue, which is quite good. Again, with regards to the tendon guards, I thought the tendon guards were going to be way too stiff, but there is a little bit of movement in them, which again it actually suits me. Again, skating in the M5 Pro, which means I like to try and point my toes when I'm taking a stride, which means that obviously the tendon guard will move with you slightly, but not very much. It is a very, very stiff tendon guard and a very stiff skate, as I keep saying. One of the main things I did find different was I haven't skated in the True holders and the True steels. Unfortunately for me, I just don't want to give them the time of day. I think the skate is good. I think the holders, obviously off the CCM, is just my preference, and it just means that I can use my steels and I can go straight into a pair of skates, any one of them, with obviously the multi-fit steels that I've got, and then it means that I can chop and change between them, and then I can try different things with them as well. Like say for example, there's going to be a pair of the Graph Ultra C's coming to the channel very, very soon. Hopefully Pamela has obviously ordered them with the UK supplier, and if they eventually turn up, when they eventually turn up, I will try them. But again, you will find that I will not be running the Took on them. I'm going to be running the XS holders on them. That's just what I personally like. It means that everything has roughly the same kind of ice feel, but obviously it's then the boot, because I class this as the gold standard of holders in my opinion. I know there's obviously going to be people out there that will say that the Took is better than say for example the CCM. The locking mechanism in the Bowers is a lot better, but I personally think the locking mechanism in the XS is a lot better as well. But I mean, that's me digressing onto something totally different, and I can make more in-depth video about that later on. But skate wise, after the first skate, I did notice after the heat mould. Now this is this is just me being really kind of quite pernickety with them, and that means that obviously I'm just noticing just the standard silly things. Now the orange piping that goes round is like a faux leather, and it's cracked already just in that area there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but it's ever so slightly. That does look as if it might be a wear point. Obviously with the TF9s I never really had that before, but with this one it looks as if I've not even skated in them once, and that had already cracked. Whether that's due to weathering because it's now been sent all the way around the world and all the way right back again, I'm not 100% sure. It could just be something that it's just the way that they're made, that they're going to crack. I'll keep an eye on that, and I will come back to you with another couple of weeks review and let you know how I am getting on with them. But for just now, I'm quite happy with them. Like I say, very, very stiff skate, very, very supportive, cracking wraparound, good support. Again, I felt like they were very, very light. They're very light in comparison to other skates that are on the market. I would probably say the M5 Pros are slightly lighter, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference to myself. Obviously, like I said about trying to run the same steels and the same holders in all skates, it gives me a kind of rough indication. I know the weights of the steels, I know the weights of the holders, it's just the actual boot I'm trying to find out how it feels, and if I've got that as the kind of, how would I put it, the litmus test if you could put it, that I feel like the skate could be, it's easier for me to then give you a more honest indication of how they actually are, and I'm not having to change steels and holders and stuff like that all the time. So anyway, that is just the quick review of the Hazardous 9X. Hopefully they last a little bit longer than the TF9s, but again, we will see how long these last. Again, if they don't last too long, then hopefully by the time that the Graph Ultra Cs are coming in, when I get a chance to actually review them and try them as well, hopefully that will be my go-to skate. But for just now, this will be my go-to skate, and this is what I'm going to be skating in going forward. So anyway, that is us finished for tonight. A slightly shorter video tonight, due to the fact that there wasn't really much on yesterday, and I tried to get as many of the repairs done as possible tonight. I didn't get much chance to record them, and when I did get chance to record them, it was very, very small repairs that I did, due to the fact that obviously we were quite busy tonight. But again, thanks very much for watching, guys. Keep it cold-blooded.